Hello, Kris here, Green Sabre, Doom Telly time. Apologies for the fucking gigantic gap between videos. Well, 3 weeks or whatever it is. I've been mega busy of late, just fucking stupidly busy. And as I've mentioned on previous videos, because I live in the tiniest house in Leeds, and have a little 5-year-old running about the place, it's... If I don't utilise the one fucking window I get a week to record these, then you can fucking write it off. It's not happening at any point. So, yeah, I get like one window to shoot these. So, yeah, the days of multiple videos a week are not going to be happening anytime soon as such. So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, that's the reason. Work's been fucking manic. Bands have been manic. I'm spreading myself rather thin currently on the band front. So, yeah, but all will become apparent soon. Of course, I've mentioned this side project that I was recording yesterday as you watch this video. So, yeah, went to Dan Mullins' place and, yeah, vocals, bit of guitar layers and stuff like that. I cannot wait for you to hear it. Like I say, I won't give away the name yet. The artwork's fucking phenomenal. I can't wait for you to see that. Blackened Death kind of thing, maybe with a sort of hint of Celtic Frost here and there and stuff like that. So, yeah, I really can't wait for you to hear it. It's going to be fucking ace. But I'll give nothing away apart from just to say at the moment, we've been recording with Dan Mullins and Blasphemer and My Dying Bride fame, for those of you unacquainted with Dan the Man Mullins. I'm not sure that's his nickname, but anyway. Yeah, that's been fucking ace. And it's me with Lee and Aki from Oaken Throne. We're a 3-piece so far. I don't know who's doing bass yet. We're working on that. But that's all I'm going to say. That's all there is. I'm fucking terrible at keeping all the stuff like this. So I've done really, really well so far. So watch this space. I can't wait for you to fucking hear that. Green Sabre, of course, because this is the Green Sabre channel. Yeah, plugging away. We didn't rehearse this weekend, mainly because Gaz is away on holiday, and Gaz is coming from his holiday pretty much to our gig this weekend. Vortex, Wakefield, Iron Void's 25th anniversary gig, Doomsday, or I forget what it's fucking called now or something. It's gonna be fucking ace. Get yourself there. Iron Void headlining, of course. There's Master Charger on. I think we're on second, and Sabbath Wolf are opening up the evening. Gonna be fucking ace. Vortex, Wakefield this Saturday, the 11th of what month are we in? November. Gonna be a ripper. Can't fucking wait for that. Looming behind it, Sabre Bridge, the Blind Pig, Saturday the 18th. Oaken Throne headlining. Was supposed to be Gone to Hellfire, but they've had to pull out sadly. But Oaken Throne have taken over, and it's gonna be fucking phenomenal. So. Yeah, us, Oaken Throne, Lifer, and No, I think are on at that lineup. Yeah, going to be ace. And then, yet to be officially announced, but we've got a gig in Halifax, Saturday, November the 25th. So it's all fucking go this weekend. This month, I should say. However, segueing neatly into today's video. So besides the updates that I've just given you, today's video is going to be a review of Damnation, the Damnation festival that happened this weekend, just gone as you're watching this. There was the Night of Salvation, Friday the 3rd of November, and the main day, Saturday 4th of November, at Bowlers, BEC, in Manchester, sort of Salford Quays, Trafford Parkway. Fucking huge venue. Now, I'm better prepared with notes this time. I don't know if you watched my review of Damnation 2022 last year. I did really well. My Dying Bride t-shirt on. My Dying Bride album sort of in the background pictured. I might as well have had My Dying Bride wallpaper up, and very, very nearly forgot to even fucking mention them on my review of the day. So, and I have made notes as well. But anyway, so notes needed. So yeah, Damnation. I was a designated driver. Me, Lee, Aki. I suppose it was a secret side project day out, if you will. But yeah, I drove us 3 there. We got there. Besides the bands and all that, bumped into just loads of fucking ace people. It's great. You'll always bump into a few heads and stuff like that. I love it as a festival. It's my favourite fucking festival, Damnation. I mean, yeah, I'd maybe like to get to Roadburn. I'd like to get to... I want to get to Fortress this year, over in Scarborough, sorry, next year. That's shaping up to be quite the fucking lineup, is that? But yeah, Damnation is the one really that I really, yeah, it's always, even if it's a week, and I have to say, this year's lineup, I think personally, was a smidge weaker than last year's. I think last year's lineup was a bit of a better mix of doom, black, post, more metal bands on as such, if you will. I think there was a lot of post metal, which I fucking love, don't get me wrong, this year, but I think that's what, well, I think there were concerns that the footfall were diluted slightly, and then it was going to be a lot quieter this year, and right up until maybe about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it did look noticeably quieter in there. You could get to bars all the time, you could easily mingle around, you could find places to fucking sit down and rest, thank Jesus, at points and stuff like that. And we were saying to ourselves, like, fuck, it looks quiet this year, doesn't it? But I tell you what, by fucking 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, to me, anyway, it looked as fucking busy as last year did, really. It was, yeah, it was manic. So it was a great turnout. The weather was fucking garbage, though, outside. So that didn't help matters, I don't think. But, yeah, anyway, let's get to the nitty-gritty. But, yeah, besides me, Lee, Aki, that made the fucking drive, bumped into Rich and Rick of Malediction, had a few good natters with them, fucking nice to see them, and fucking awesome to finally meet you, Rich, in person, yeah. We've spoken and commented on various fucking social media platforms and stuff like that, but not actually met you in person. And it was a pleasure. Yeah, fucking nice to bump into the Malediction guys. Wendy from the VC, shout out Wendy. Again, someone that I have a feeling that I knew Wendy on Instagram before the vinyl community stuff. But anyway, I think because we were like vinyl collectors, we're just sort of mutual acquaintances. But anyway, yeah, lovely to see you, Wendy, as well. And if I don't see you before, hopefully I'll catch you up in Glasgow in January. Speaking of Malediction, I forget the name of the fucking gig, but like Consecration are on, Malediction, Coffin Mulch. I think Coffin Mulch, right? Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a top night. So if I don't see you before, Wendy, I'll see you at that. Beardy Red Viking, of course. Shout out Beardy Red. Lovely to see you as always. And yeah, sorry, it was one of them. I'd have liked to have caught up with you a bit more than I did. But yeah, one of them fucking things, isn't it? Like lots of people and stacked lineups. It's difficult, isn't it? You know what I mean? You're just sort of pinging from room to fucking room. But it was nice to see you anyway, Beardy Red. Who else have I made a note of? My mate Matt, my good mate Matt, former kickboxing friend. We went to the same kickboxing club. Matt from ISO Merch. You'll see it at the ISO Merch stand at the back of the room there. Matt was on the ISO Merch stand, so yeah, if any of you went and got some merch from there, you'll have seen my good friend Matt, and he's fucking handy, so just watch yourself around him. But yeah, fucking top to see you, Matt. I'm sure there's lots of people that I've fucking forgotten, but let's just, I've nearly done fucking 10 minutes of shite already, so let's cut to the chase. So, Damnation. I don't do the Knights of Salvation because it's a big fucking ask. I think the ticket is tremendous value, to be quite honest with you, for that Night of Salvation. I think anyone that says otherwise is a fucking liar. It's tremendous value for what you get, and especially this year, it was a proper stacked one. And I was absolutely gutted that I didn't make it because BOSSK were playing Audio Noir, one of my favourite fucking post-metal records of all time. They were playing that in its entirety, so I was fucking gutted when I found that out. And I was trying to think, can I get over there? But coming over from Leeds, it's either I get over and then have to think about accommodation for the night and stuff like that, which makes a reasonable weekend into a pretty fucking expensive one, especially seeing as all them places nearby don't know what to fucking charge over that weekend. Yeah, I mean, even for a travel lodge, you're looking at about 150 fucking quid a night. It's obscene anyway, but so yeah, I undernard, and if I don't do the accommodation, then I've got to ping over from Leeds, ping back, ping over the day after, and yeah. So, barring a miracle, it's unlikely that I'm going to see much of these Nights of Salvation, sadly. But the day will do for me, and as I will go on to explain, it more than did for me, as it was. So yeah, let's get on with it. So we arrived there in good time. There was some fucking arseholes on a parking scam when we got there, so for future reference, Damnation guys, watch out for that. I mean, they were prepared. They had cones, parking, here, there. The giveaway is the fact that there was nothing official on it with like a Damnation logo or anything. And we thought, all right, this must be where parking is. Pulled in, and it's like, right, 10 quid, lads. And very quickly, it's like, but this is a fucking public street. Why are we paying 10 quid to park on a street? Anyway, we handed it over, thought, fuck it, it'd be right. And then it was just a little things. They like stood there in the street waving at no cars coming at the time. Like they were overcompensating. And then, what did they say when we walked off? Sort of like, it's all right, we'll be all right. We'll be here all night, lads. Your cars will be safe. It was just that. I thought, why has he said that? Anyway, we walked round corner, near at a bowler's, and realised there was loads of fucking parking nearby. So we went back, we got our tenner back, and come and park nearby. And yeah, bit of a scam there, so watch out for that. But I mean, your cars might have been fine, to be honest, and £10 not a bad thing to pay. But I bet they made a fucking killing, them lads. So anyway, enough whining. Inside we were, and first off the bat, Coffin Mulch. I was really happy to see these, because I've heard from you vinyl community types that have never stopped fucking talking about them. Much like Hell Ripper, I thought, right, I need to see this band. And I thought they were really fucking good. The sound was a bit sort of weirdly muffled for me, personally. But, I mean, it didn't sort of detract from their set. I thought they were really, really fucking good. Classic, old school HM2 death metal. And yeah, they do it really, really fucking well. That latest album of theirs that came out this year, that's currently in my albums of the year list that you will see later on in the year. Yeah, really, really good. But for me, sort of unashamedly early 90s Entombed. It almost picks up where Clandestine left off as such. So, but yeah, I thought they were fucking ace. So a really good start to the night. That well, start to the day, I should say. That was fucking midday that they started. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Great set. Went outside then to get something to eat, and inadvertently missed Nordic Giants, yeah, who I've discovered afterwards are fucking great. So I'm a bit annoyed, annoyed that I missed that. But in all honesty, I didn't know much about them going into it. They were one of them that I've not really checked out. They're right up my street. And it was reading the stuff the morning after about, Nordic Giants were ace. I thought, what do they sound like? Listen to a few songs. Bollocks, I'd have really liked them. So, but yeah, I fucking missed them. I was buying cheesy chips. So, you live and learn. The cheesy chips were nice though. Although did repeat on me the day after, I have to say. But anyway, you don't need to know those details. So yeah, Coffin Mulch, good start. Missed Nordic Giants, never mind. Catch them next time. Come back inside, sort of wandered around the stages for a bit. Caught a bit of Kurakuma, are they called? That were all right. Didn't really do a lot for me. They were very good at what they did. It just, what they did wasn't massively my bag, I have to say. And then we moved through to the main stage for Khemmis. Khemmis were almost my favourite band of the day. Second favourite band of the day. Nudged out of it by a performance later on that I will get to. But Khemmis were fucking sensational. My mates Lee and Aki, Khemmis were the band that they'd gone for. So, yeah, they were made up. And it were great. Khemmis are a band that I know bits and pieces of. Mainly the doomier stuff, I have to say. I'm not fully up to speed with the later, more modern, slightly faster paced stuff. Fucking what a set though. Brilliant. Good sound, although I still feel that at that main stage in there, the pins and knuckles stage, is it, or whatever it is, the nearer you are to the front, the better the sound is. The further you are to the back, nearer like the bar and the ISO merch stand and all that, it's not a great sound, I have to say. But yeah, and we were right up near the front there for Khemmis, and they were fucking ace. They started with some of the more modern, like I say, the faster tempo stuff that were really good. Some of the harmonies, though, that they do are almost sort of Trouble-esque, I'd say, with those beautiful, sweeping, doomy harmonising that they do with the twin guitars. And they were sensational. They ended the set with more of the doomier stuff, and that was a fucking cracker, yeah. And really, yeah, early on, I mean, when were they on? Like fucking 1:30 in the afternoon, were it, at 2 o'clock or something? And we did say then, we thought, that's going to take some fucking beating, is that set. And it did take some beating, so... yeah, fucking sensational, and almost my band of the day, Khemmis. Not quite, though. Next up, I think we caught a bit of, was it Unearth? metalcore, deathcore, whatever you want to call them on the main stage. Went down really well, and they sounded very good, yeah, but metalcore, deathcore, not my fucking bag at all. It does nought for me, and this did nought for me and all, quite honestly. So they sounded like a slightly heavier kill switch engage for those of you uninitiated with that kind of shit. So yeah, not my bag at all. Very good, and they went down all right by the looks of it, but yeah, it didn't do out for me. So we didn't hang around for that. Don't know what we did then. Sort of mingled around the merch things. I think me and Lee are on one of the official pictures somewhere, sort of probably looking like Yorkshiremen staring up at the t-shirt saying, how much? But that's another story. Next up on my list, Strigoi. For those of you that don't know, Greg McIntosh out of Paradise Lost fame. His current Blackened Doom, almost, I would call it, side project. There's some death metal elements in there, there's some black metal elements in there, there's some doom elements in there, there's some crusty elements in there. Besides what was a fairly ropey guitar sound for me, it all sounded a bit compressed and sort of mushy and lost in the mix. And there were a few bands I felt on the night that felt a bit like that. Sort of some of the guitars got slightly lost in the mix on it. But Strigoi, I thought were fucking sensational. Besides, like I say, the guitar sound. The atmosphere they created were fucking brilliant. The set list was ace, brooding, bludgeoningly heavy. And I love Greg's vocals in this Strigoi stuff. I just think he's got such a powerful growl voice. Just fucking, yeah. So that I thought they were ace then. They were my, what did I list them at? Fourth best band on night. They were almost third, but there's a band that I'm about to talk about which just picked them at third spot. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Strigoi set. Thought it was fucking ace, so I'm glad that I saw that. And yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on that band moving forward because I think they're fucking ace. I really like their style. So yeah, Strigoi. We then caught a little bit of Julie Christmas on the main stage. I don't really know much about, or didn't know much about. She looked like she went down well as well. But, I mean, obviously, the vocal thing is the main sort of sell of it. But it felt like there were vocals everywhere. There was no space for anything else. She sang I didn't feel like she stopped for breath at any point. It was just continual singing over some chunky guitar riffs and stuff like that. It sounded really sort of talented, but... Yeah, just sort of one of them that not really on my radar. So we only caught a little bit of that before we went for something else to fucking eat, I think. Something like that. And the next band I saw were my third. Like I say, this is the band that just pipped Strigoi to third spot. Amenra. Amenra are a band that I really, really, really like. It's the guy's harsh vocal that I'm not an enormous fan of. It's all a bit throaty and a bit screechy, a bit screamcore. But I can get past that because everything else they do is just fucking class. And they were sensational for me. They pulled out all the fucking hits. And three of my favourites in particular, they did fucking... I've made a note of the ones that they did. How do you say it? De Evermans did that. Razor Eater and... A Solitary Rain that was just sensational. Fucking fabulous. And they were so heavy. So fucking heavy. Again, like I say, main stage and we were quite nearish the front for them. So, yeah, that just fucking magnificent. Really good performance. Great visuals in the background. Lots of fucking dry ice smoke everywhere and stuff. And really captured the atmosphere. And the music is so atmospheric anyway. But they were fucking brilliant. There were a guy having the gig of his fucking life, about three from me at the front, just living it. And it was... I love watching them. I loved watching him. It was fucking sensational. Yeah, they were really, really good. Which proves how good Khemmis were and how good the band were that were the band of the day for me. Yeah, so Amenra, fucking sensational. We didn't quite catch the end of their set because we wanted to get through into the... I want to say the ISO stage. The one on the back right in there. Yeah, ISO. Yeah. Because Sigh Japanese black metal legends, Sigh, were playing. So we got through, got a decent position for them, I think, and we were leaning against a fence because at that point in the day, it was leaning time. We were all beginning to flag. I know I was fucking definitely at that point. But yeah, I went through to Sigh. I didn't know a massive amount about Sigh, but enough to sort of like, they're a band that I don't own any stuff because they're not, I don't love them. Do you know what I mean? But you have to fucking see them live because I don't know what they were like on the Night of Salvation, obviously, but apparently they were fucking ace. But what I saw was sensational. I mean, it was just fucking batshit mental, essentially. They're all dressed in like traditional Japanese robes. The fucking guitarist almost had like a sort of like demon samurai fucking thing going off. The female front singer, she's dressed up almost baby metal-esque, you know, in the big sort of like puffy dress kind of thing. Plays saxophone, drenching herself in blood. There was lots of flaming swords and fire and I mean, I wouldn't call it black metal. I'd almost call it blackened jazz in places. It was fucking, like I say, it was fucking nuts, but so entertaining. What a performance. They were ace. And they finished with a bludgeoning cover of Venom's Black Metal, which, yeah. So they were fucking ace. I think I might have listed them at maybe 6th or something on the day of band. Because, like I say, musically, they're not enormously my bag. I think they're almost like a Nightmare fucking Studio Ghibli soundtrack, if that makes sense. That's what I liken them to. It's all very performative and fucking mental, but yeah, well worth a fucking view. Again, guitar sound. The guy's guitar sound sounded fucking awful. But besides that, they were fucking phenomenal, so I'm glad that I saw them, yeah. And it was at that point that I noticed the singer of a band that's got, I'm thinking, because, in fact, no, I'll go into that when they're on. We came back through to the ISO stage, though, for the next band that we're on there. But in between whiles, caught the sort of back end of Catatonia, who I really like that first record, of Catatonia. I'm not overly sold on anything else. Certainly not the more modern stuff. I'm just not a fan of it. And it felt like the bits that I heard, it might have just been the bits I heard, to be fair. But it felt like the more modern stuff, and it just doesn't out for me, sadly. So I didn't bother with Catatonia. I didn't really bother with Enslaved. We were stood near back catching a bit of it and stuff like that. And I think, don't get me wrong, I think Enslaved are decent. But I just think that there are bands that do what they do much better. So, yeah, so Enslaved are another one that have never really quite been on my radar. They're one of them bands that I know about, but I'd rather listen to this instead of them. Does that make sense? So, yeah, I caught a bit of Enslaved. They went down ace, and they did sound good, to be fair. So, yeah, hats off to them. Next, back to the ISO merch stage for what turned from, I should say, disappointment of the day to band of the day. The ISO merch stage. I had bought the ticket off the back of a couple of bands. In fact, no, I tell a lie. I bought the ticket blind, in actual fact. But then when I saw the first few bands that got announced, like, oh, fuck, this is going to be phenomenal. And one of the first bands that got announced that I was so excited to see were Ahab. And sadly, Ahab fucking pulled out. I discovered on morning off my mate Lee was like, Ahab have pulled, haven't they? Like, fuck, wah! Like, oh, for the sake of fuck. So, yeah, I was massively disappointed. There was them and Electric Wizard, really, that initially that I wanted to see. Electric Wizard are one of them bands that I never quite fucking catch. Something always happens, and it sort of happened again this year, but I'll get to that point. So yeah, Ahab off. I'm like, right, who's going to replace them then? Are they going to get a replacement or something? And then it was when Sigh finished that I noticed, stood at the side of the stage, the singer from BOSSK, Simon, who lives quite close to me in Leeds. He lives about 10 minutes away. So I recognised him. And then I went over and just sort of, BOSSK, are you playing? It's like, yeah, we're replacing Ahab. I nearly soiled myself. It was fucking like, yes! Because I was so disappointed that I'd missed BOSSK doing Audio Noir on the Friday night. That it was one of them that I thought, do I spend an extra 100 and odd quid probably nearer 200 quid on the ticket for the Night of Salvation, for the hotel, for the fuel. And the thought process just for BOSSK were, so to say I was disappointed that I missed out on that, and that disappointment of Ahab not playing, to the fucking elation of finding out that I was getting a BOSSK set was just, I mean, I've put the t-shirt on. I discovered BOSSK via Damnation. Well, not that I knew the music, but I discovered them live via Damnation. It were at 2021, the last year in Leeds, where I saw them. It was my mate Matt from I Saw Merch that had recommended check them out, so I did, and absolutely blew the fucking roof off. And they did at Damnation on the Saturday as well. Just phenomenal. Like I say, I don't know whether I went into it slightly biased because I was so excited to find out that they were playing that they could have just done a fart down mic, and I'd have probably thought, well, I got to see BOSSK fart, so, you know. But anyway, they were fucking sensational. They did a big chunk off of Audio Noir, of course, because, you know, at the 11th hour, finding out that you're playing the Saturday as well, I don't imagine you're going to make too many fucking sweeping changes to the set list, of course. But, yeah, they were just fucking ace. We had fucking, what's it? I'd never forget the name of it, one of my favourite tunes ever. I'd never remember the fucking name of it. Kobe. They played Kobe, Atom Smasher, Reverie, Open Up. It were fucking beautiful. And the visuals that they do were like the space visuals. Just really adds to the head nodding, hypnotic atmosphere of it. The highlight of the night, I'll get the pronunciation right, Menhir, off of the Migration album, which I've dug out here because I've got my little, you probably can't see it there really, nearly dropped the bastard record, my little Damnation tag there in with it. The version of Menhir, because your man Johannes, is he called, from Cult of Luna, come on and guest vocaled on it, as he does on the, and that was so fucking heavy. I could bang on about them all night. They were fucking electrifying. What a performance. And I was so happy to get to see BOSSK. And I can't honestly think of a replacement that would have made me happier, having found out that Ahab had pulled. Well, a realistic replacement. Obviously, the original lineup of Type O Negative would have been a better replacement. So, food for thought there for next year, Gavin. Besides that, it would just, it made my fucking night that I got to see him. Because my mate Beardy Red, he went to Night of Salvation, and I'd said, I bet BOSSK were fucking ace. Like, yeah, they were. So, yeah, to get to see him, and they were my band of the night. I thought they were fucking sensational. Khemmis were fucking comfortably right up there with them. They were fucking great. But, yeah, BOSSK, just everything about it, it made them my band of the night, and I fucking loved it. So, yeah, I was well made up. After that, I was bastard exhausted. I'd had a few coffees over the day. The coffee shop shut early. What the frig? Designated drivers like myself needed coffee. I mean, to be fair, I might have been able to find it somewhere else, but you know, the one in the middle there, near where the cloakroom was the year before. Yeah, that seemed to shut early when I got back out there. So anyway, we all propped ourselves on a bench and up against a wall and various things for a bit, just to rest out, because my back was fucking ruined at that point. My feet were killing. And, I mean, I will say, there was much more seating this year, so hats off, Damnation organisers. They clearly listened to bits of feedback last year. Much more seating. Obviously, there's never going to be enough, clearly. So, anyone that's there sort of saying they still want enough seating. Do you want it to be a seated fucking venue? Or, yeah, I don't see how they put much more out there. So, yeah, I was happy for the fact that they'd listened and put more out. I still think the Star Wars bar is an extortionate amount of money just to go and sit up there for a bit, when a lot of the time you've got a queue to get into it anyway, have you, or something? So anyway, but that's another fucking point. Yeah, so I missed Anal Nakrath, because at that point I was fucking exhausted and need to just sit down for a bit. When I got rested up, I thought, let's go and watch a little bit of Anal Nakrath. And then when we come past, I realised that the room was packed. There were people stood outside of it looking in. So, yeah, I missed the boat on that one. Apparently, they were fucking sensational, though. So, yeah, sadly, I missed Anal Nakrath. Like I say, they're not an enormous pull for me, but I wouldn't have minded just sort of seeing what they were like, and apparently they were fucking ace. So, anyway, Whether I get to see them again is another thing, but yeah. The band I was there for, but knew I wasn't going to catch all. Electric Wizard headlined. Now, I seem to be cursed with Electric Wizard a lot of the time. There was something that they were doing, oh God, a while back, that I was going to get tickets for, years ago I'm talking about here, I was going to get tickets for, and then I never ended up doing so. It was like, bollocks, missed Electric Wizard. And they play so infrequently, so rarely, that you've got to take that opportunity. Anyway, so I missed that opportunity. Desert Fest last year, Desert Fest 2022, they headlined that. I went with my brother, and we'd gone with every intention of fucking catching them. Again, all day, fucking broken at that point. And they came on later. They were last band on, of course. And we'd been down in London, and my brother lived in South London at the time. It was like, we're going to miss the last train if we don't go now. So I think we caught about fucking 30 seconds of Electric Wizard. It was like, do a stay here and watch Electric Wizard, and then have to pay like fucking £80 for a taxi or whatever it is back to South London. So we bailed, and it's like, I'll catch them next time. And when I found out that they were headlining Damnation this year, like, right, this is my chance. But when I found out they were headlining Not Finished Until Midnight, I kind of knew. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to have the legs to fucking do it. And with me driving, I want to beat the traffic out of there and get home. It's a fucking, especially seeing as they decide to always dig up the M62 on a fucking weekend evening. I know it's probably the best time for them to do it, but it's an absolute bastard getting back over to Leeds. I know, I'm sure people have had much longer journeys, but I'm just thinking of me, aren't I? So, yeah. Yeah. So, we stopped for about 3 songs, and I fucking loved it. They were just absolutely on it. They opened with fucking Witch Cult Today. The track Super Coven followed it, I fucking love that tune. If anyone knows how to get a digital version of that, please hit me up. The vinyl's very expensive. The CD's even quite expensive. I want a digital, I want the song so I can listen to it. I love Super Coven. That was the second one that they did. And then went into Black Mass, and sort of they were into Black Mass when we decided to, right, let's go and make way to the car and be off. But up until that point, fucking brilliant. Yeah, I missed Funeralopolis, and I missed fucking Chosen Few, and I missed Time to Die. But I'll catch them at some point when I'm sort of fully rested up, because I'm an old guy. I'm 48 fucking year old. I can't do all days unless I've got like there was a guy with the greatest mobility scooter I've ever seen, sort of zooming around the venue. I might get one of them next year and do that. But yeah, they were fucking ace. And the visuals as well. Lots of blue for the dads there. Lots of blue for the fellas. But yeah, you know, satanic, women with fuck all on, blah, blah, and all that kind of just visuals going in the background. And besides the blue nature of it all, it really did add to the atmosphere. They create a fucking great atmosphere. But yeah, hearing Super Coven was just, oh, yeah, so heavy. And a great riff in that. I fucking love it. So they were ace, and it was a great end to what was a fucking great day. Yeah, I was going to get an Electric Wizard t-shirt, but they were cash only, and I don't tend to take cash to these fucking things, because if I get it out, I know I'm going to spend it. Whereas if it's on card, it's got to be, I think, right, yeah, I'll have that. Yeah. So, yeah, the Khemmis t-shirts were nice, but for like 30 quid, which I thought were a bit steep. So I didn't get any merch this year. But the food was decent. I ate okay. I felt there were more food vendors, but less variety. Does that make sense? There was an amazing kebab place last year that, whether I was just fucking blind and missed it, but I didn't see it. So I was like, oh, I was looking forward to that kebab. So yeah, sadly, no, there was like 3 of the same kind of burger and cheesy chip vendor on. Burger and hot dogs, sort of like 3 of the same. So it felt, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a burger and nearly went and got a second one. But yeah, it just felt that there were more food vendors on, but slightly less variety with it. But I'm fucking nitpicking, honestly. I thought it was better organised. I mean, obviously last year was the first year that they were in bowlers, so it's a work in progress, isn't it? But I thought they got it fucking nailed on. this year. A few sound issues permitting with various things, but these things happen, don't they, you know. Merch, much bigger tent, better seating, more food vendors, less toilets, but still plenty. So, yeah, it was... I had a fucking whale of time. Absolutely fucking knackered the day after. I think I had 5.5 hours sleep. Didn't get in until like 1:30 in the morning. The little man woke me up at fucking 7:45 or whatever it was. So, yeah, I didn't sleep tremendously well. And then I was recording with the Secret Side project that afternoon, evening. So, yeah, absolutely fucked as of today as you're watching this. So, yeah. But it was fucking ace. So, will I go next year? Yeah, I probably will. I say this sort of like thing. I don't think I can do that anymore, standing up for like fucking 12 hour. But I'll seat line up and I'll want to go again. It's a cracking festival. So, Gav, Paul is it? Yeah, Gav and Paul, the guys behind Damnation. A salute to you because you fucking knocked it out of the park again. And yeah, it's a fucking ace festival and I love it. And I had a great time. And that's 3 years on bounce now that I've had a fucking ace time at it. So, yeah, like, why not make it my November thing? Let's, hopefully I'll play it one day. But, yeah, you never know. But, yeah, ace to see me mates there. All the bands. Yeah, loved it. Had a fucking great day. So that'll do. 36 minutes. Let's wrap this up. Let's keep it somewhere fucking reasonable. Again, apologies for the lack of videos. Thanks for the likes and subscribes. Go fuck yourselves to the unsubscriber that I had. I'd got to a nice 150 and now I'm at 149. I'm sorry that I don't do regular enough videos for you, you fucking clown. So anyway, yeah, I'm not bitter about it. But it's like, fucking hell. I like you proper subscribers out there and you all know who you are. You're not kind of, I didn't have content in 25 minutes. So, it's like, fuck off, I don't need you. That's just, yeah. This is for you guys, the real fans. Yeah, so yeah, I'm at 149 now. Let's get back up to a 150. Let's get back over there. And yeah, if it keeps you all happy, I'll try and do one a week. You know, you'll notice I've got a slightly different setup, haven't you? Look, I've moved things around. Look, that's because I create content. YouTube Lego thing. Raiders helmet's moved over there. Spoon is still in pride of place. Behind it though, MIDI hi-fi system. I can now play cassettes. So yeah, cassettes are back in the game. A reliable CD player. The other one had just became a little unreliable, sadly. It would play some things and not others. So, decent. And I've even got fucking mini disc on that. I don't envisage that I'll be playing many of them. But, yeah. So, new setup. So, hopefully, that'll get the subscribers in as well. But anyway, I'm fucking waffling as per. Great to see you all again. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I had a fucking whale of a time at Damnation. I'm having a whale of the time with my music outside of there, with Green Sabre, with the Secret Project, and various other fucking things which will come to light before you know what's going on. So, yeah, watch this space. But until then, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you next week. I promise, honestly. See you later, guys.